In 3 and 2 and 1. Let's go.
All right, welcome to another episode of Dr. Dallas Unleashed. It's good to be back.
Yes.
We have Amber in the house.
Hey, guys.
And we have Anjelica.
Hello.
Are you guys happy to be back?
So excited.
I feel like it's been a little bit of time since we've been here. I think with the COVID quarantine getting back, it's been a while since we've gotten together, because getting everything back in the office going, as Amber could tell us, has been hard, right?
It's a lot.
I mean, everything we do to keep, everything safe and patience, and this just fear of, catching this, we want to make sure people feel safe, but it's a lot going on for us as an office, wouldn't you say? Like, what's the hardest thing you think, Amber, to kind of get our office ready for, starting back up again?
All the protocols that we had to do.
Yeah.
Like the protocol manuals, training the staff. We were doing a lot of it to begin with, but making the protoals, number one hardest thing.
So putting everything on paper
and making
that
sure
totally
it's correct. And
makes sense, because, as a business, we always have to think legally, right?
Yep.
You don't want someone to get sick on your watch because you didn't do something right, because ultimately, someone points a finger and says, oh, I got sick. My mom got sick. I'm going to blame you guys, and I'm going to take you to court. And that, unfortunately, that's the way you think about it. And when I hear about schools, being closed and thinking about reopening, I'm sure they're thinking the same thing.
Agree.
There are parents out there who will take the school district to court if their kids got it.
Which is crazy to me, because are you taking your kids anywhere else? Like, that's so ridiculous.
Right. Who knows if it was Uncle Bob, who was out on the lake and was with a bunch of other people, and maybe someone else had it on lake, whatever.
Yeah.
But they go to school, and it for sure had to have been the school. Right. So I get it, but I don't know. I don't know if you could say, we don't do that with the flu, right?
You not wouldn't. At all. No.
If your kid gets the flu at school, would you go to the principal and be like, it's your fault, you let this other kid in with a fever?
No. The only thing I blame the school for is head lice. Send your damn kids home if you have head lice.
What if they don't know, though?
If your kid has head lice. But like the flu, legally, you just have to think about everything. I think that's what the hardest part about COVID was. I was thinking about that. Yeah. Protocols, the staff, just everything was very stressful.
Yeah, but isn't COVID more intense than the flu? That's why they shut the whole world down for
I think it's
just new.
More contagious.
Yeah.
There's, obviously we're worried about people dying, but as we get more information, it's probably not what we thought it was.
Correct.
And very susceptible people, and actually children, maybe not so much, who are healthy. But still, you just, I always think about, that letter that comes in that's somehow blaming us, our office. And, that's why we keep hearing about the schools asking, hey, do you want your kids to return?
Yeah.
And I think some of the other office staff are saying they got stuff. Did you get something in the mail?
I didn't get anything in the mail.
Okay. About whether you want to keep
because I live in the country and they're like, send your kids to school. Like, I'm not scared at all. I want, she needs to go to school.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge adjustment for a lot of kids. And we're just talking about this, and parents and depression. It's a lot for people. Kids need to be around other kids.
Right.
Send her ass to school.
Was she missing the kids?
Yeah. And especially she's the only child. She's bored.
What about when they're saying that it's only 50%? Are they going to send half the kids to school different days?
That's so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't. Okay, so if they're going to do that, are they going to cut our tax dollars too for the city?
Well, I think the 50% was like they would go like one group of kids would go, and then, maybe flip-flop the other week, then the other group would go.
But what about working parents? Like, what are you going to do with your kids? That's a struggle.
That's an issue.
That's a burden that you're putting on parents who are used to their kids being not only somewhere where they're teaching them, but also a lot of these issues with feeding. Sometimes the kids' only chance to get their meals, both breakfast and lunch, is at school. Did you get a lot of those letters from your school? We got tons from our school that said you can come and pick up lunch. And, luckily, fortunate, we don't have to worry about that. But, it was probably a big deal for people who depending on their kids eating at school, breakfast and lunch.
I know a bunch of restaurants that were gathering up food, and they're making like little lunches and distributing them out. And they did it at my apartment complex, actually. They said, we need a head count because some restaurant was bringing in box lunches for people. And I mean, if you couldn't have it, then you could just go there. I know a lot of churches did it too. Which was good.
I think it's just important that kids need to go back to school. Like they really do. We can't. No one can live in a bubble. And I know that kind of sounds mean. But if you you're compromised with your health or you're elderly, then you need to stay away. But the healthy people, we can't all suffer from it.
Right.
That
and then single parents too, that'd be tough on them, especially.
Super hard. I have no family here, so if London can't go to school, what am I going to do?
Right.
And then daycares are closed. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's all these additional stressors that are putting, because I keep hearing story after story about a family member or somebody really having a hard time, like mentally, kind of being stuck at being at home, losing a job, have to take care of your kids. Where are they going to go? I can't teach them and work at the same time. And it's been tough. I think we've seen a lot of stuff. So like we were talking about earlier, I understand the argument like, hey, you can't just keep it closed, everything closed forever until there's like zero deaths, right?
No.
Because other people are dying of other things like depression. And then those people aren't working. So then they're unemployed, not only because they have to be at home, but they just are depressed. And then suicide's a big one that I hear about. And then the vices, people who don't have anything to do are kind of left to their own, hey, I used to drink, but now I'm going to drink a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to have, smoke crack and why not a little bit more?
Oh my God.
So, I don't have anything to do.
Right. I'm going to have 2 more of these Twizzlers because I can.
The quarantine 15,
I gained
man.
so much weight during quarantine.
You guys did. You guys look the same.
No, I gained so much weight and I drank way too much.
I probably drank 300 times my body weight. I'm not going to lie.
I
drank
was
so
bad.
much.
Thank God
your
for
liver
Sean.
must occupy half your abdomen right now.
No.
That might be what's happening.
It's like, stop.
It was so bad. Thank God Sean was like, you can't drink until after 5. Like, no. And then like, I'd be like, 5:05, let's go.
See, there was no rules. I mean, for me, I had the White Claws there and I would plan those work happy hours so I could start even earlier. So I would be like, it's 11:30, happy hours at 12. I'll pregame for the happy hour. Get on there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
It was hard.
I don't know how you guys, I like to drink every once in a while, but it's the hangover that's the killer.
Yeah, but you're not like a drinker.
No, he doesn't know how to make a drink.
Yeah, like I enjoy a glass of wine or a cocktail at night.
Right.
Yeah, but, you don't get a hangover with that though, right?
No.
But does the fear of the hangover ever keep you from like, whoa, I shouldn't have that last one? Or do you hit a point you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
You have drunk self
happened.
who, your sober self next day gets mad at drunk self.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is like, son of a bitch. Why did you do that to me?
My problem is I don't know when to stop.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll go out for drinks, and there's always a good happy hour at Legacy West, and we'll go out, have a couple glasses of wine, a couple glasses of champagne. Next thing I know, some old people are buying us drinks. We're all having a great time, and then I can't even drive home. And like, I got to work in
that
5
sounds
hours.
so horrible.
What I love about you girls, though, when you go out, when's the last time you paid for a drink? You probably have, but I would say the frequency is pretty low.
I pay for my drinks.
Yeah.
I don't.
But, she's single. She's going out there.
Well, no, even the waiters, they're awesome. Like, I mean, it's probably because we go to the same spots over and over, and so they know who we are by this point. But the owners, the waiters.
But not only them, but like new dudes. Right? Yeah. It's probably dudes.
It's always dudes.
Dudes, of course.
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's not like a girl is going to be like, oh, you're so sweet. And I love your nails. What shoes are those? Let me buy you a shot. It's the dude.
It's the guy trying
who
to get
sees
laid.
you. Exactly.
Right. And you say, thanks. Can you buy one for my friends
Oh my
too?
God. No. Yeah. That doesn't happen.
And that could be the whole night. I mean, gosh, you guys save so much money. And then the guys who are out there,
I can't.
Dude, they're like dropping every nut. that they've ever saved just to pay for.
That's so sad.
It's the idea that they could maybe
talk to
get your phone number, maybe get have a date with one of you guys.
It's so wrong,
right?
Don't say one of you guys. I haven't got a drink in 15 years.
But you could do it. Let's just pretend it.
Hey, at least Sean buys you a drink sometimes, right?
Sean's money is it's my money too. I work.
See, mine, actually, there's this place that we go to on Thursday nights, and it's called, it's just like it's a bar in Uptown or Deep Ellum area, and if you flip a coin, and if it gets that, like, you call it, you say heads or tails. If you land on tails, let's say I call it tails, it's $1 drinks for that round, but you order your drinks first. Yes, it's awesome. And last week, We hit the $1 every single time. So that means that cocktails just keep on coming. They're like,
that's a good one. But where is it at?
It's called High Fives.
And where though?
Like Dallas. I don't know.
That's too far for me.
It is too far for you, but it's totally worth it. It's
I like
so
my
fun.
bar in my house, you know.
Yeah.
For it's free.
I mean.
Well, she still gets it free too.
I know that. The
social events.
Anyways.
But I want, it's good to live vicariously through you.
Yes.
Kind of see all that stuff.
I'm okay. I'm totally happy. I don't want to live through her life.
He does, because what was it? The day after my birthday, came in here, and he just looked at me like, he was like, oh, you don't, okay. I walked in, and Celine goes, you look rough.
You had like no makeup on, nothing?
I had makeup on.
I can always tell when you're rough because you've like no eyebrows.
I always have a brow on. There's only been one occasion I did not have a brow on.
Well, you had one brow on. The other one was off.
It was probably half.
I was eating. I was hungry, guys.
But she looked at me and she was like, you look so bad. So did Nina. And I walk in his office. He's like, I think you look great. You look the same.
Oh,
and
I'm
like,
sitting
there like, cool.
Like, no.
I think that
she's probably still
you
drunk.
did not even go to bed that night, did you?
I did.
You had like 1 hour of sleep.
Yeah.
And I said, for 1 hour of sleep, you're doing
not
pretty
looking
good.
too bad.
Yeah.
I was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I was here.
Well,
but I think she
you.
still had some of the alcohol in her system. You know, when you're not quite, you haven't hit bottom.
I've been there before.
I'm sure that night, you were like, time to just sleep and, fall asleep dead type of thing. But yeah, you need that time to recuperate.
It was a good. It was a good night.
Good.
Do I remember it?
Yeah. But I am. I'm kind of tired of. I know we have to make sure about this COVID stuff, but I'm tired of wearing the mask.
I'm so sick and tired of wearing the mask.
Because one is,
I'm over it.
I can't breathe.
Yes.
I can't breathe. I wear the true N95 mask, and when I operate, it's so tight. It's great, right? Because you're not going to get the virus particles, but you're like rebreathing your CO2. Like if you're breathing into a bag.
Huh?
Well, then I feel sick, like,
Yeah, I'm over it. But sorry, guys, we're stuck with the mask for a while.
Yeah. Not that I wouldn't wear it, but I totally get when I go to the store and I see like a whole family not wearing it. And
do you wear it out?
Yeah, I wear it out. I always have my mask. And then the kids.
If I have it in my car. Yeah. If I don't have it, I don't
wear it.
See, but that's the thing. I don't look at you guys or the people I see as being like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing it. And I'm not afraid to be near you guys because I have mine on. Right. I just know that it is impossible to keep the whole society on, this lockdown or wearing masks and 6 feet away because you go out and right?
Yeah.
You go to parties and during the day, everyone's good. And then you go to this party and everyone's together, packed, dancing. Right. So I can't blame people.
I did get kind of like this old, elderly lady kind of like yelled at me at the market a while back because I wasn't wearing a mask. But at the same time, I honestly feel like the mask is worse because people are touching it so much and moving and fidgeting it around that they're actually causing more bacteria and stuff to spread because they're not used to wearing it. So it's the touching on and off. But this weekend, we went out and no one was wearing a mask. We were at the lake and the restaurant was packed and no one was wearing a mask.
Not even their employees?
The servers were, but like down in here, they weren't wearing it covering their full face. So they weren't even wearing it properly.
I was in Austin this past weekend and only select places were really strict about it. Yeah. They put the hand sanitizer on your hands. They checked your temperature and you couldn't go in half the places if you did not have a mask. And there was one restaurant we went to where if you got up to use the bathroom or got up to walk around, you had to have your mask on. You can only take it off at your table. And they handed out masks. But the club I was at on Saturday night, it was so packed and not a single person had the mask on. And I was like, not even their employees.
Okay, well, when we went to the club Saturday night, they did check our temperature.
They checked our temperature on the way in. But honestly, I think since it was such a big event that we went to, it was like a free for all.
Yeah.
They just wanted more people in.
Anyways.
So it's either you do it all the time or you don't. And this sort of half-ass stuff, I'm beginning to think that, if there's going to be like another resurgence, it's going to happen. And, it has to, something like this has to really scare people. Like the original, when it first came out, everybody was scared, right?
I was more scared of the economy.
Well, that too. But I mean, it's funny. Horrible? It has to be so traumatic for people, and they have to also fear for themselves. But as time wore on and people were like, oh, only old people get it.
Yes.
And that, you had a group of people who were like, well, it's not going to affect me. No big deal.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't scare somebody enough, it's like, who cares? So I think unless it were to resurge big time or someone you knew died from it, we're just going to keep going and doing what we're doing.
I just feel like you can't live in fear. Like, honestly, and especially me as a Christian, like, I'm totally okay. Like, I believe in God. I believe in heaven. Like, I cannot live my life in fear.
Right. Plus, you're not going to build an immune to it in any way if you trap yourself in.
No one's going to build immune.
Well, I don't think you can build an immune. That's a very good point. I don't think you can get, well, if you get it, right?
Yes.
You get antibodies. So I see what you're saying. I thought you meant that you just wouldn't get it.
No, you're going to antibodies.
Regardless, you'll probably get it.
So this, what they would call it, like herd immunity. They want everybody to eventually get it.
Yeah.
If you're going to get it, go ahead and get it. So now you start building up this whole society that has immunity to it, and then it'll die out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're worried about, well, there's going to be so many deaths, so many, elderly people. But that's the other thought, right? Just like any other thing. You just, everybody gets it and everybody has immunity.
I feel like we're going to piss people off because either people are like, oh my God, COVID, you murderers if you leave the house without a mask. And then you have some people like you're never going to no one's ever going to be happy.
It's recommended to wear a mask, but it's not required. So technically you're still following the rules regardless if you wear it or not.
Yeah.
We saw, Anjelica and I saw a statement by, I forget who it was, The Who? No. Somebody that they felt during sex you should wear masks.
You're freaking lying.
If you're with like a stranger or someone you haven't known for a very long time.
Yeah, that you should wear a mask to
you
protect
can
yourself.
stick your penis in me, but you need to wear a mask. Like, are you serious?
Because apparently COVID isn't transmitted through fluids, but it's respiratory.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I can't even, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I can't even, for real?
I agree, but it makes sense because it's respiratory. So if you're gonna,
sir,
you meet.
Can you please put your mask on? Oh, and make sure you put your condom on too.
Right.
How can you can't even there's no interaction. It'd be like literally.
That's weird. I can't.
You can't smile. So
you can't. All you can see is your eyes.
And then if you have Botox, there's like no movement. Yeah. You're just like,
give me something. Just noises through a mask.
I'd be like, this shit sucks. Get off.
I can't.
Are you happy under there? I can't even tell.
Anyways, we're going to play a game? Or what else are we going to say?
Yeah. We thought we had some time to do we wanted to ask what your greatest fear was, but Anjelica got real nervous about talking about her biggest fear. You want to mention it?
We were just talking about, not being in shape, healthy, making smart choices, not being able to exercise.
Her biggest fear about herself is not being in shape and not healthy.
It's been like it since 6th grade. It's not going to change.
And you think I have body dysmorphia?
No, I don't think you have body dysmorphia.
I think so.
Why? What are you worried about?
I think all women.
What are you gonna do when you're become a mom and you gain weight and you have stretch marks and all? And what if that happens?
I have
thought
kids.
about it for the longest time. I've been on the fence of having them or having someone else have them.
Really?
But I think eventually I'll have them myself.
Oh, I know. I love babies. After the tummy tuck.
It was just something for a couple years ago. I didn't want kids. I was like, I will adopt
because of the way you're gonna look. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It wasn't the way I was gonna. I think it was the whole entire process and just seeing how I was gonna change after. But I think being here has helped a lot to understand how your body changes. Seeing patients come in and how you can fix things and how you can make changes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was educated enough on how your body actually will get loose skin, stretch marks. I was just scared and I was like, I can't do it. And now I'm I'm leaning towards it more. I want kids 100%. At first I didn't want to carry them. And now I'm
Oh, that makes me sad.
Because eventually I probably will.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's my phone and I always yell at you guys, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now it's your turn to.
I probably will end up having my own kids.
On mute. You're fucking up the podcast.
I'm sorry. I'm always the one yelling at you guys.
GD to hell.
Literally, it would be the vibrate's on. We can still hear it.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Don't bang your arms on the table.
I'm sorry, but for real, that's your fear?
No, my fear was my whole body in general. It was gaining weight, just not being how I've always wanted to be. And
where do you think you got
where that stemmed from? Yeah,
probably cheerleading.
Yeah,
right now in today's world, I probably look normal. But if I were to I'm serious. But if I were to be in the cheer world, I don't know where I would stand today because so many people look at being average body size as big. And I don't know, that's just how I've always been.
But that makes sense.
But be comfortable. Yeah. You're cute. You're young. Be comfortable. I gave up a long time ago. I can't live. You can't live like that.
I mean, eventually, like I said, I will have my own kids. I was on the fence previously in my life. But I think now that I'm older, I know I don't want to be alone. I want to have someone to like leave my stuff to when I pass away and stuff. If I don't ever get married, which I better get freaking married. Like, what the hell? Somebody better live with this. I don't know. I don't want to be lonely. Like, if my husband ever passed away, like, I want to have kids to spend time with when I'm 70 and 80 and grandchildren and all that. Like, I want to have that. I mean, I just before I didn't, and now I'm obviously moving towards it more. Because like I said, there's ways you could.
Yeah.
I'll just come see you. What the heck?
Well, so you rather have someone else have your baby so that you don't have to mess up your body?
I used to think that way. I used to be scared of the whole thing. I couldn't even get a paper cut.
Oh, Anjelica.
I was scared of blood.
I think it's pretty, unfortunately, it's actually seems normal to have that sort of fear.
In this nowadays society?
Nowadays, cheerleading world where you expect to be a certain real thin.
Yes.
If you want to be the person who's on top of the pyramid, you got to be real tiny and petite.
Right.
Or if you're going to be the jumper, you got to have like a certain build.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's, you're yes, if you want to be a flyer, you have to be smaller. And it's not always like that. But I think I developed all this muscle, so I know I could toss somebody in the air. But in the end, if I ever wanted to be on top, I'd have to drop 40 pounds.
That's so sad.
You don't have 40 pounds to drop.
And maybe not now. I mean, college, I might have been a little bit more thick, But
oh my God.
Well, Amber, what's your greatest fear then? Pretend that's, we've already talked about.
I'm actually kind of like, I feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
My biggest fear. Okay, number one, probably be something, God forbid, happen to my daughter.
Right.
Like, totally would be something happening in my child. And again, I know she'd go to heaven, so that gives me a little bit of relief. But something happening or somebody hurting her is probably my biggest fear. And then probably like financially, my biggest fear too, like losing everything. I think just because we were so poor and I worked for so long, and then to lose that would probably be number two. But one would be something happened to my daughter, 100%.
Yeah.
Or after this accident last weekend, going freaking paralyzed.
Oh.
Yeah. For those of you that know that Amber was on a jet ski going like 80 miles per hour.
Not making smart choices.
Yeah. Just not making a good choice and turning and then flying. Right. I think if you're on pavement, it would have been game over.
I would have been dead for sure, 100%.
But luckily you're on water. So now you just have bruises and you look like the first Batman where his whole shoulders turn.
Right.
So that would be another fear.
Like,
I know that's exactly
how Amber
I feel
the whole day.
But that like being paralyzed would suck. Like being a burden for someone else to take care of.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your fear?
Well, I was going to say your two fears are probably very common fears, right? Like I have children, of course, I would be devastated if something happened to them.
Right.
Financially, again, that's probably, again. For me, when I think about, financial stuff, it's not so much, because I can't pay for the car, that sort of stuff. It's like, I go back to the kids, I won't be able to provide them with the things that I want them to have. And it's not material things, but to me, it's more of just, experiences, vacations.
Yes.
I'm not worried about because I don't have a Ferrari or mansion.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be crushed financially like that, but I'd be like, dude, that sucks. We can't, go on that little vacation. Cause I never had those things when I was growing up. Cause I grew up, not with a lot of those things. I wouldn't say we were poor, but we weren't able to go on a lot of vacations.
Yeah.
Man, we have surpassed that with our kids. We go quite a bit, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but for me personally, probably just, being what I do and a plastic surgeon, obviously a lot of people look to me, what we do on social media, but you kind of want to make a difference. You want to be able to say, when I'm gone, did I make a difference in people's lives in general? Not only my kids, but just, it's like a legacy thing, and it's, again, not about accumulating the most wealth, but like, maybe making some advancement in my field or making it safer, or, he did it differently, but, he was, set himself apart from how other people in his field did it. And we talked how, you were, Anjelica's doing a trainer thing.
Yeah.
And, when we were talking about plastic surgeons and, I do a breast augmentation. Yeah, there's 50 other guys who do breast augmentations, but how am I different? Well, check out on social media, see how I do it. Maybe I talk about it. Maybe people understand why I use silicone, that sort of thing. That was a game changer for people to see me do it and talk about it.
Right.
For you, you're out there doing the personal training stuff, and you were talking about how you're going to have to give us one of those, like how it is when you're doing your 3 minute, like, come on guys, let's go. Okay. But before you do that.
But is that your fear? Like to like do like a bad like job or?
No, I mean, just maybe not making a difference to people, and if I were to go away and whatever might happen, that people, somehow I didn't make a difference in their lives. And the biggest, I think, obviously is the kids, right? Because I'm with them the most, that they could look back and say, my dad did this. I was really proud of him. And that's why they're going to go on to be good and better people and productive societies, people in society. Because I don't want my kids to live with me when I'm 40 and I'm taking care of them. I want to be like, I'm getting older. And as I took care of them, they say, oh, I want to be there for you and take care of you. Go on vacations with my family, with you. And I think that's, when we talk about kids, there's no better measure of a person is how your kids turn out.
Right.
Because I will always look at, we talked a little bit about this too, when you see, people who are just kind of out there, not doing a whole bunch, living with their parents, I have to think, well, what happened to mom and dad? Are they enabling it? Why are they like that? It could be genetic, but, at the same time, I think a lot of it depends on how you grew up.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yes and no.
Yeah. I mean,
you have the right to change, right?
No, Oh, yeah. But it's hard. It's hard to change people.
You changed.
How so?
Didn't you say that growing up you were always in the books and studying and you wanted to do better than, I don't know.
Well, no, you just want to do good.
Yeah. You changed. Didn't you change?
Well, look at me compared to my brother.
Exactly.
Totally night and day.
Do you think that's genetics?
Same household.
No, I just think it's motivation.
I think it's motivation, and then also.
But why is the motivation different if you guys grew up the same?
It's a drive to make yourself better.
Yeah, better. I want more in my life.
You can see there's something out there.
So that's why I think it might be genetic, because if your environment was the same. Well,
what about my twin sister? I'm an identical twin sister.
Yeah.
And we're polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's why
too.
Completely opposite. Yeah.
There's probably things we don't understand what drives people. It could be something very tiny, right? That that you saw or someone said to you about your shape, your weight, that it forever, you don't even know, it's in your subconscious, that has driven you to always kind of be very careful about, the weight, how you look and that sort of thing that only you were exposed to. Maybe your sister or somebody else wasn't exposed to, or maybe someone said something to me like, you better do this, or you're going to be, not make something of your life. And it was something I heard, not my brother. And kind of always drove me to try to be the best that I could. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? That's a tough question. Right. So like I always say, when you raise your kids, the best example, when you have kids, the best example is to do the things that you want them to do.
Yep.
If you're going to yell at your husband, guess what they're going to do? They're going to yell at their relationships.
Oh, great.
If you're kind and you are sweet or nice and say, how are you doing? That's how they're going to treat other people. So it's probably, monkey see, monkey do.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So if you guys are parents out there, that's probably the best. I mean, just do your best to be how you want your kids to be. Because if you're a yeller, a smoker, or a drinker, your kids are going to be a yeller, smoker, drinker.
So true.
Most of the time.
Yes. Well, sometimes I feel like not always, because a lot of my friends have parents that were alcoholics or turned to drugs, but they'll grow out of that because they see how they live and they don't want to live like that. And I think that might be just a motivational thing just for them alone. Like, I don't want to live, coming home to a drunk dad all the time. I don't want my kids to have to feel like that. They're coming home to somebody who isn't there all the time.
Yeah.
Like physically, mentally. Well, they're physically
there,
not mentally there.
Maybe that's their traumatic experience.
Yeah.
It was so traumatic. Like, there's no way I'm going to be like that, right? For you. Something was weird. I'm never going to be that person. And so you strive to be the opposite. And that's probably a good example, right? Like,
like my parents, my mom was like that. My mom was crazy and like very like demeaning towards my dad and like ran the household. And now like I'm polar opposite. Like I'm like servant's heart to tea. And London's like that though.
Yeah. And that's like the exact, I mean, I see that too all the time as well. It's almost, there's not even a middle ground. It's like, there's no way I'm going to be like that. I'm going to just turn it around. So, you know, but I bet you, it's not to say the other way around. If she was kind and did all those things, that somehow you would be the person that was real mean.
True.
But in that experience, that was maybe your turning point to really strive to be something different, you know? So yeah, I don't know, child rearing, being who you are, like trying to understand who you are. I think as the years go by, you kind of understand. I still think about stuff when I was growing up and think, you know, maybe that's why I'm impatient about this sort of thing, because I saw that. I saw my, I still gain insight now, you know, because I didn't have as much when I was younger in my 20s. You know, I was just like, whatever, let's, you know, go to the bars and pick up, you know, chicks. But you get older and you just gain more perspective. So I don't know. Hopefully you listen and hear that, and you'll kind of see those sorts of things. And I think you're on the right path. You're not doing anything crazy.
No.
You're just, you know, learn from our mistakes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm 26. I feel like I'm starting to get my life together a little bit more. Am I finding like more of my own passions and what I like to do, and trying to balance everything out. And I take care of myself, so I don't need anybody. But I don't think like that. Okay, I think like that, but eventually I want to be with somebody, and eventually we'll have our family. Yeah,
you're better off for being independent, though.
Oh, 100%.
That you can be by yourself, because there are a lot of, I think, women who probably get stuck in this, like, I need to be with somebody. I have to, you know, I can't. To be like that. And that's probably not a good way, because your relationships are always going to be sabotaged a little bit, I think. That's my opinion, but I think you're doing good. And Amber's doing good. Well, she's ahead of you.
Yeah, she has a fam.
Yeah, but you'll get there. We were going to play a game, but we totally didn't play it. Yeah, we were going to do. Why don't we do one real quick?
Okay, go.
All right. This is rapid fire, and then maybe we'll continue on the next one. Angelica, have you ever been hammered at the movie theater?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's like.
That's kind of way stupid. All right, Amber.
Yes.
This is a good one. Have you ever had uncontrollable gas at work? Don't lie.
No.
Oh, come on.
I swear.
What do you do? How do you hold it in?
Like, I remember on February 3rd, I walked by your office and it was so putrid.
No,
I'm just joking.
Oh my God. See, we take Tums for that. Even though I'm not saying like I have that.
We acknowledge our bubble guts.
We just have the
uncontrollable. Have I like farted at work? Yeah, but like uncontrollably, no.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, you know,
I also hold it in a lot. So like, come on.
So your stomach's like one of those things.
No,
like
I'm like the worst person.
Bubbly stomach.
I have to take Miralax probably like once a month.
But if you're holding it, at one point, it does have to be.
At one point, it just gets. Why?
Miralax.
Talk about my poop.
It is. If you can talk about sex on the podcast, you can talk about a little bit.
So it will get so bad where I'm like, oh my God, I haven't pooped in like 5 days.
Is that why I say you? I always feel like
that is not okay. I feel like your poor intestine is like rock hard.
No, it's really bad.
Gosh.
You know, the longer it sits there, the harder it's going to be. So I get it.
I know I got to do it.
I feel like that's why I see you pacing outside sometimes. You're just wafting.
I never pace outside. If anything, I'm pacing the office.
You know what we call that? Crop dusting.
Oh my God, no.
Let's see. Let me ask myself a question. Choose not to invest in something that would have made me a fortune.
Oh, shit. I have a
Oh my gosh. I'm thinking of my ex.
Yeah.
No, that would have made you a
fortune.
Oh, of course she picks a man. What would you have invested in that would have made you a lot of money?
I mean, 2020 hindsight. I mean, like Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter,
like a social
those
media.
things.
Oh,
Amazon.
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
See, I was just gonna say Amazon.
Amazon, Apple. Yeah.
Zoom,
maybe. Yeah.
Zoom, especially with COVID.
Right. Well, no. I was gonna say, what if you had like all this PPE stuff and sold it, but you can't sell it for a profit.
You can't. And you know what? The other day, some guy came in to the office next door saying, "Oh, I bought all these masks and I have them. You want to buy them?" I'm like, "No."
Is this to ask yourself?
I'm not going to ask myself this one.
Oh, well, this is accidentally.
I literally happened last week.
The question is that she pulled out. Never have I ever accidentally flashed myself in public?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You've been to New Orleans.
No.
That's not even
I
an
would accident like with the dress and stuff. I have.
Okay, I was wearing a off the shoulder crop top last week, and I'm pretty sure my friend. I don't know what happened, but somehow ice went down my shirt, and I went to lift.
And
it was too high, and everyone in the bar saw. And I was just, and everybody's like, Anjelica, did you just flash us? And like everybody knew it was not intentional.
Did
like,
you have a bra on?
No.
See, when you're a mom,
when you get these bad boys done by Dr. Dallas, you don't even need a bra.
Right.
Perky.
She was shit. That's advertising, paid advertising.
Oh my God.
Free advertising.
I don't even need one though. But I was just like, at least they look good. Like everybody was like, and I was like, don't even act surprised. Be like, what?
Don't act surprised. These are amazing.
Showing the merchandise.
I was just showing where you guys can get yours done too.
Right. Oh my God. All right, guys. We'll play next week.
Yeah, we'll finish up our game. But I think this, kind of took a little turn for something different.
Right.
Talking about that stuff. But it's good, right?
It's good.
Hopefully there are people out there who probably have the same things, having the same issues, coming out of this COVID quarantine, just kind of getting back into routine, because I think as humans, you need a routine, because if not, we're all going to like blow ourselves up if we don't 100%. Have it. So anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Maybe we'll finish this game of Have You Ever Never. If you guys have ideas, let us.
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever.
No.
But let us know. DM Anjelica.
Slide in the DMs. It's me.
And we'll talk about what you guys want to talk about. Right, so thank you, Amber, for joining us, and Anjelica, thank you as always. Good luck on personal training. That's something we didn't even talk about. Personal trainer, she's going to be.
Group fitness instructor. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. You know what? Training. Y'all want to take my class? I'll let you know where I'm at.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Watch out for her. She's going to be the next biggest thing. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. This is Dr. Dallas Unleashed. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.